is my last Vaporato ride of my trip to Venice on the way to the train station. Look how early in the morning it is. Actually, it's 7 o'clock, not so early. Good morning. Beginning of a long day. It's 7 o'clock and I won't get to Annecy till after 7 this evening. I'm spending about 4 hours in Milan though. I hope I haven't allowed too much time, but I thought, I'd have time to walk around a little bit and I'd be able to eat some lunch. So I start off just going over here across the water to the first station. After this one, there's one little train ride across the water to Mestre, and then from Mestre to Milan, 4 hours in Milan, Milan to Chambéry in France, and then a short ride, about 50 minutes I think, up to Annecy. So it'll be a long day on the train, but I have my knitting. These are the kind of details I have missed so much on my train so far, and that's, see here, it tells me which coach is going to be at this position when the train arrives. These numbers up here, 1, 2. I'm in coach 1, so I knew in advance where to be on the platform. That's a nice, refreshing thing to know. See, I'm in 1. Yes, I'm in business class for this train ride. What a treat. And here's the other thing I have missed, is it tells you on the door not only the number very clearly of the coach, but also which door you should go in for which seat. I'm in row 16, so I know this is the door to get in. I'm not going to shuffle through a bunch of people going the other direction once I'm on there. This is revolutionary.
Your board will be French hour sub 9713. The train will arrive in Milan at 10:15. Train battalion staff are available to assist passengers for any need of reporting. We wish you a pleasant journey.
I have to say, this train station certainly has a magnificent facade. I can't get the whole thing in one frame. I think if I went, I couldn't get far enough back because of the trees. But yeah, this is a really interesting, huge, magnificent station. So here I am for a very short stay in Milan. I have to walk 1.5 kilometers to the other train station, Porto Garibaldi. When I get there, I will see if I can also get an image of the facade of that station, and we can see how they compare. So I'm going to walk that direction, and maybe I'll find a restaurant for my lunch on the way. And I think I'm supposed to go past a park that says it's a tree library. We'll see what that's all about. This train station does not have a clock in the center of the front of its facade, but these clocks are on each side entrance to the train station. Of course, train stations always have clocks. That's important for train stations. But the interesting thing is this clock is an hour fast, and the train on the other side is the correct time. So I don't think they got these exactly in sync, did they? Now that I'm in Italy, and then I'll be in France and in Spain, we'll see these fountains quite frequently. I wish the lighting was better so you could see this building with all the trees and plants growing out of the side of it. Isn't that cool? This is near the place I think they call the Tree Museum. There's a park right here. I'm going to find out. What does the sign say? So yes, this is a tree library. It's the Biblioteca dei Alberi Milano. So there we are, tree library. The trees don't show up very well because it's wintertime. But there's a sign back there that shows the names of all the different kinds of trees as well. And it's very close to this building. Right here, this apartment building. Looks like there's lots of trees in it. Beautiful. Here's a closer view of that apartment building. I bet it's beautiful in the spring and summertime when all the leaves are on the trees and the sun is shining on it. Beautiful. I had this idea since I was going to be walking over a kilometer through central Milan to go from one train station to another, that there ought to be some place that has interesting, something to eat, good. And I just didn't pass really anything at all. And I came to this place, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I came to this place in the process, which looked like it had food that was affordable, plus interesting, plus a nice place to eat. Had all the things, but it wasn't open at 11:30 when I passed by. So I said, okay, I'll go down to the train station. Something's got to be down there. And of course, it was like mall food at the very best, including, but there was a McDonald's. And that was about it. Pastries, pizza by the slice, blah, blah, blah. Same thing we get anywhere else. And so I walked back over here. It wasn't very far, 4 blocks, 5 blocks. I walked back over here. But of course, remember, I'm dragging my suitcase the whole time. And I came in, and they were open by then, noon. And they were very friendly, opened the door. And it's something called Pia Denaro. And they specialize in piade. I don't know much about it, but here's what it looks like. So it's kind of a wrap, and inside it's a traditional food. I can't remember what he said, in Italy, and it's got lots of meat on it and grilled zucchini and some sauce, and we're gonna find out. Anyway, there's a lot of food here, and so I'm happy I got something to eat in a nice place because I have a couple of hours yet still for the train. It was almost 4 hours between the 2 trains. So I've got lots of time to piddle around and take it easy. So I'm going to dig into this. Wish me luck. So I ordered a macchiato, and they brought me a nice little sample of their gelato. Oh, how sweet. Nice place to eat. So I just finished my meal at this place across the street. I had gone all the way down to the train station thinking I would find something. I didn't. I came back here. I was really glad I did. It was very good. The service was spectacular. Very, very friendly. I was lucky because I got there just as he was ready to open the door. So I was the only one for a while, but I want to tell you there's a line now to get in there to eat. So I was able to eat in peace and quiet for quite a while before all the hordes of workers showed up. It's obviously people off for their lunch hour. So I'm off back now to the train station. Again, I have about an hour before my train, so I can take my time. All right, underneath this giant sign above the building, you can see down there behind that van, that is the train station. Not nearly as majestic as the central train station, right? It's hard to find. I was glad I had my Google Maps working because otherwise I wouldn't have known to look down here in this parking lot to find it. All right, we're going in. So because that train was on time, well, I thought it was going to be not on time because it stopped a long time on the track at one point. And I have a tight connection to Annecy, 8 minutes. The train from Milan got here at 6:15. Supposedly the train to Annecy is at 6:23. But I got here and it was just the next platform over. They announced on the train which platform it was, and I had someone next to me to translate it. So I got here just over here on this platform just a minute after the train was due in, so I have plenty of time to get to Annecy. It wouldn't have mattered because there were several other trains tonight going to Annecy, but I sure would like to get to the point where I can get to my lodging tonight and have a nice lay down. So here we are. Well, isn't that some beautiful scenery in the mountains? Every time we came through a tunnel, we were in deeper snow. I thought that was really very, very cool. We'll see what it's like in Annecy. It's supposed to be kind of snowy there, but not snowing this weekend, but there should be snow on the ground. We'll see. I'm on the train to Annecy. This compartment was full of people a few minutes ago, but they all cleared out when we got to this station. So it's kind of quiet now. We'll be in Annecy in about 35 minutes. Quick trip. I'm sitting in a park near the Lac Annecy today. So now I'm all relaxed. I just finished, or almost finished, a cup of vin chaud, which I think is like grog that I got at the market. It's got me warmed up on the inside. And now I can tell you the story of what happened last night on the train. So when I just left off, I said, "Oh, we have about 35 minutes left, and then we will be in Annecy." Well, it didn't quite happen like that. At the next stop, which was, I believe you pronounce it, Aix-les-Bains, the train stopped, and everybody in my compartment got off. Everybody on the train, it seemed like, got off. So I waited, and nobody got on. It was very quiet. I waited, nobody got on. The train didn't move. I looked out on the platform, and the platform was completely empty, and there was no sign as to where this train was going next. Apparently, they had parked the train, and I was sitting on it by myself, and I thought, oh my gosh, they take these trains and then they just move them, and I don't know where they will move it to, and they may just park it again and desert it for the night. So I grabbed my bag and got off the train and to look around and go ask for information. I grabbed my bag because if I had left it on the train and they moved the train, then I'd be separated from my bag. This is important in a moment. So I got off the train, walked down the platform a long ways to get to an office so I could ask, where is the train to Annecy? Now, I swear to you that when I got on the train on the platform in Chambéry, on the platform it said that the train was leaving for Annecy at 6:23. When it was about 6:20, a train pulled up. Everybody got on. I got on. But then when it came to Aix-les-Bains, everybody got off. And the train wasn't going on to Annecy. Very confusing. I don't exactly know what I did wrong. So I go to the office and I found a man that spoke some English. And I tried to explain to him that I had gotten off at the right place. What do I do to get to Annecy? And he told me, oh, platform B at 7:15, there's a train to Annecy. I was like, okay, great. I'll be another 45 minutes longer to get to Annecy. No problem. So I started down the stairs to go over to the platform, because you have to go downstairs to go under the train tracks and then go back up the stairs to go to the platform that you need to go to. That's how it works here. Sometimes there's elevators. In this case, there were elevators. So I carried my luggage down the stairs, and then I thought I would take an elevator up, and all of a sudden it hit me that I was lighter than I should have been. I won't tell you the cuss words I used. I realized immediately I had left my backpack on the train. I had gotten my rolly bag and taken it off the train, but in my panic of worrying about whether or not the train might just start moving at any moment, I thought I got my bag, but I forgot to get my backpack off of the shelf that was over on top of the um, seats. That was panic time. My bag, in that bag was over 200 euros and my laptop. So I go back to the train station and I try to find that man that spoke some English, and I try to very calmly, not so slowly, explain to him what I needed. And I could see the train was still down on the tracks, but I wasn't sure if it was okay. I'm such a goody two shoes. I wasn't sure if it was okay if I just went down there and got on the train and got my bag. Instead, I'm asking. Long story short, it turned out he misunderstood me. He thought I meant I left my bag in Chambéry. So he went in, he said, one moment, he went into the station and he didn't come out and he didn't come out and he didn't come out and he didn't come out. So finally, I walked around and I asked for him again at the office. And I said, my bag is on that train that's parked. He says, are you sure there's a train there? I said, yes, there's a train parked right there. Can I just go get my bag? And he said, oh, your bag is not in Chambéry. I said, no, it's on that train. I really should have just gone down to the train, gotten on the train, gotten my bag, and left. All right, I'm always trying to do things the right way, or what I think is the right way. So he said, oh, so he goes, these men that work in the station, they never go onto the platform without their hat. So he goes in, gets his hat, comes outside, and he walks with me down to the train. He said, this train? I said, yes. I said, and I explained to him that this train had said, on the platform in Chambéry, the sign had said this train was going to Annecy. And of course, I have no French, and his English was not good enough to understand what I was trying to say. But at any rate, my bag was there. I got my bag. And as it turned out, I still got on that train that left at 7:15. I was very lucky, or else it would have been another half an hour before there was another train. So I was very lucky. I got on the train that left at 7:15, and I got to Annecy, believe it or not, only 45 minutes later than the original plan. So, as it all turned out, I got here. It wasn't terribly late, but had been so much adrenaline running through my system that by the time I got here, I was totally spent, and was so glad to find my room that night. So, that is what happened yesterday. I've never left my luggage anywhere. There's always a first, no matter how old you are. Bonjour.